Hey guys, I'm Nick Billman from Shores of Grace Ministries here in Recife, Brazil, and I want to talk to you about our schools here in Recife. Romans chapter 8 says that all of creation is groaning and waiting for the revealing of the sons of God. And I believe that right now the Father is looking for courageous sons and daughters to rise up and respond to that call. Our generation is crying out for the revelation of the Father's heart, the revelation of His love. And He chose to reveal that love through you and I, through sons and daughters. So our work here in Recife, we work with rescue, with women and children in prostitution and abuse and abandonment, and women and children who are needing, a fresh start on life and restoring families and all these types of things here on the streets and in the communities around our missions base. But a big part of our ministry, a big part of the heart of our ministry is to equip the bride. In fact, it's a part of our vision statement, to equip the bride. Not only to do our ministry here, not only to have our missionary staff here and doing our work, but to really train and rise up the bride and other people that are in the church that can go out, sons and daughters that can reveal the heart of the Father and reveal His love in their city and their country, wherever it is that they're going to go, wherever God calls them to. And a big way that we do this is through our schools. Our first school is called The Furnace, and it's a 3-week intensive school that we do every January. It's our most popular school. We have people that come from all over the world to experience the 3 weeks here, really intensive with our mission staff, where there's a class experience where you're learning and being trained on various aspects of kingdom ministry and healing and prophecy and how to take the kingdom to the streets. But then there's a lot of practicum as well, where the students are going to the communities, the slums around our base, they're going to the streets, they're working in our rescue homes, and they're releasing everything that they're experiencing at the same time. Of course, there's a lot of worship and a lot of experience of receiving an impartation from the other speakers who come and minister in the school. And it's a really powerful time, and a time where we see a lot of people launched into full-time missions experience, because it's kind of like this short 3-week intensive experience where people can kind of open the door to the missions experience that God has for their lives. So I really encourage you, if you are called to missions, but you maybe don't know where to yet, if you feel like God's put a calling on your heart to missions, but you're kind of like, God, I don't know when I'm supposed to take the step, where I'm supposed to go, the Fornalia is a great place for you to come to experience that calling, and I believe that God will confirm to you while you're here what the next steps of that journey are with Him. Our other school is the Experience, which is a 3-month missions school here at our base, where it's a school where we really want you to come and experience missions. There is a class aspect to it as well, but there's far more practicum than there is class time, because we really believe that to train missionaries, you need to put missionaries in mission experiences. It can't just be learned in a classroom and then they go out in the field. So we want you to come here and experience with our team, with our staff, what it is daily to be a missionary through Shores of Grace Ministries here. It's a 3-month school. We'll have classes and we'll have teachers who come from all over the world to teach on various aspects of kingdom ministry, but you will be put into the daily routine of our ministry, just like the rest of our staff, where you'll be working with the people we work with on the streets, in the communities here around the base, in our rescue homes. You'll be a part of the Shore staff for these 3 months as a student of the Experience School of Missions. After, at the very end of the school, we end with a 2-week missions trip experience, and we'll have 3 different options. One would be local here within our region, another would be national to another place within Brazil, and another would be international to another country outside of Brazil. So another way for you to just kind of experience missions even beyond just our Shores base here, but to really go somewhere and put into practice what you've received in those 3 months. After the 3-month school, we'll have the opportunity for those students who have the desire and the heart and the right character, of course, to have an internship here within our ministry, an internship of 1 month to be able to stay after the mission school and be on staff with Shores of Grace to see if it's a possibility to be long-term with our staff here. Or if you say, you know what, I feel called to this other country, I feel called to this other ministry, then it's a place where we can really train you and prepare you for your long-term calling in that place. The other school that we're working on starting in July will be the School of David, which is a worship and arts school. The School of David is a school that really follows the heart of David. David built the Tabernacle of David, and he had all of this involvement from musicians hundreds of musicians at one time worshiping and creating new sounds and literally inventing new instruments. So it was so much more than just 24 hours of worship and prayer. It was creativity. It was involving the creativity that God's placed inside of our hearts and releasing that in worship and in arts, in media, in design, and all these different aspects of what we want to do here at the School of David. It'll be a very practical school where we'll have people who come in and teach in a practical way. For example, how you can better play your instrument in a worship environment, how you can best use your talents in photography or your talents in design, in arts and dance in a worship environment, and how you can use that to release the kingdom in your life and in your everyday life and in your city, wherever you come from. So it's a very practical school. It's a very academic school where we really want to have actual workshops and trainings on how we can better our skills and our talents to serve the Lord and serve the kingdom through worship and through the arts. So we encourage you, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you're a dancer, if you're a photographer, you have that heart for the arts, we encourage you to come and be a part of the School of David. It's going to be a powerful experience. Our fourth school is the school that you can take right to your church, right to your city, wherever you are, and it's the School of the Streets. It's a school that we do where in 2 to 5 days, typically, we go to a church and we take the experience of Shores of Grace, the experience of our ministry on the streets, our ministry to the poor, and we train the people in your church or your ministry how to do those very things in your city. A lot of times when I'm traveling, I'll have pastors say to me, "Oh, Nick, I wish I could take my whole church to your school. I wish I could take everybody up there to be a part of the Fornalia, but it's just not possible." And I say, "Oh, but Pastor, but we can take the Fornalia to your church because we can do a customized School of the Streets from anywhere from 2 to 5 days right at your church where your whole church can experience what it is to minister on the streets." And it's very practical, very involved school where we do training and then we release people to go out, and they go out to parks and they go out to the streets and they go out to malls and they do treasure hunts and they do prophetic words and they pray for healing, and then they come back and they share testimonies. And it's a really great time for people to come back and say, "Oh man, I was afraid to share the word, so I didn't." And we can say, "Well, let's talk about how you can overcome that fear." And we really work with equipping and empowering the person to go out and minister. And then they go back out to the streets and they come back with more testimonies, and we share more and we do more training, and then they send them out again. And so it's very involved in this way. It's not a just sit in the church all day type of school. We have a lot of moments where we're sending people out to minister and coming back and sharing testimonies, and you're just watching the faith of those people grow throughout the entire school. We've done the School of the Streets from anywhere from 10 people all the way up to 1,000 people. So we can really customize it to the needs of your church, and it's a way that you can bring to your church what God's doing here through Shores of Grace to your streets and to your city. So we invite you to get in contact with us for any of our schools. If you go on our website, there's information about them, and you can get in contact to find out more, and we would love to have you more involved with the Shore schools.